Fine. You know what? I switched the channel. I'm in fucking pain, out of step with the unified field. I'll tell you what I'm watching while I'm in pain. This motherfucker again. I mean, I used to get a kick out of him because I always want, in a sort of like, when I say, geez, I wonder who watches this stuff. I mean, I'm saying it in a very superior like way, like, yeah, guys that were a certain way like watch this. But I mean, what this is particularly demented, and I'm in pain. I'll tell you about it. Okay, what they're doing is they're mixing a bunch of things together that are both untrue and put things in people's minds that would tend to wreck everything. What this is he does this thing like his show is like about like this is for the sort of uneducated person, but who likes the see my cousin Neil used to watch this. I read the Post and shit like that. It's like someone who works for a corporation and like sort of makes like maybe like 150 grand a year and stuff like that, and sort of like identifies as like not poor or something. Like they've done pretty well. They take orders at a corporation. Okay, so they have an appetite to hear like about like this type of like uneducated ignorant thing that's called libertarianism, where you don't like bureaucracy and paperwork, and you like the idea that like maybe the private sector by the way, the kind of guys that watch shit like this, they don't know enough about how the private sector and the public sector function and how corporations function to have an opinion about markets and states and public and private things. They don't. The mentality of this means they actually don't understand such things. Okay, but what he's doing now is he's bringing in the right to bear arms. He's saying that it's so hard to get a gun. It's not hard to get a gun. You go to a gun show and buy it with no background check. But what he's doing now is he's saying like I don't know where he's going. He's saying something about I don't know in what way he's trying to buy a gun, or if it's because he's in New York City or whatever. But he's showing all the paperwork and fingerprinting and like things he has to do to get a gun in a crowded city. And so it's working together the concept of look what happens when government gets involved on the topic of him trying to get a gun in a crowded city. This is for people of extremely limited intelligence who work at a corporation and they eat this shit up. I mean, I don't fucking know what to say about stuff like this. It just furthers ignorance, but the people watching it are a certain type of person who's ignorant in a bunch of ways and think they're superior. Tell you who watches this shit. My cousin Neil was the kind of guy, had a job for my father, made 150 grand a year, okay? So he's the kind of guy to walk down the street and see a homeless guy and say, like, yeah, why doesn't he get a job? I mean, it's for ignorant people, but they're working the right to bear arms shit into it. But I'm in pain. Well, that's what's on while I'm in pain. This fuck. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore.